Like,
I feel like I can be and do nothing, but I guess when I
but you
think
still
do
have it in the back
nothing,
of your head that
I'm like, I'm going to either be reading a book, watching
no,
a show that I want, maybe journaling, sitting outside. Okay,
but
so I guess
that's
sitting
okay
outside
too,
would count.
though.
But
I
I
think
just
that's
don't get
okay.
like rest. What does like rest really mean though? Is
Have
it
you
just
ever
sitting
done it?
outside? I feel like I have, but I also feel like I haven't. Like resting, I'm
I
thinking
think we
I
have.
take a bath. That's
No,
restful.
we're not. But that's just no. That's a lot of work too. I don't know, but people like love that
So
stuff.
what is rest?
I mean, I don't know.
I'm writing a
This
book.
is
What the fuck is
crazy.
rest?
Like,
Welcome to the Delulu Magic Podcast. I'm Paola,
I'm Gabby.
and we are talking about high functioning depression today, which is something that I didn't even know existed. Usually you think of like depression, right? You are in bed, you can't get up, you can't really do anything, you can't function. And this is the opposite. You're a high functioning person.
Yes.
And when I first heard of this book, I started listening to it just because I heard it was a good book. And I'm like, oh my God, these are all so many things where I was like, okay, that's what I do. Oh, okay, I do that as well. And I didn't realize that at one point I probably had high functioning depression. What did you think? Because I know you've listened or
we
read the
both
book a
did.
little bit.
No, we both did the audiobook. Well, I followed her for Judith Joseph, I believe is the
Yes,
author. I
yeah.
should have gotten that info, but sorry, guys. I followed her for a long time. She does a lot of skits on social media, which is kind of spoofs on things that are part of high functioning depression, right? And because this is something that she uses for her own, like, kind of, she calls it, it's for her happiness, because she's kind of like, she likes to act, and then so she wants to teach us. And people, we love comedy. When you're in high functioning depression, you will laugh through your own shit and be like, it's no biggie,
It's fine.
it's fine, all that stuff. So I did the audiobook because you started, and then I was like, let me start it as well. So to tell you about it, you start, and then she does quizzes, and I mean, we did audiobook, but Paula, you went into the website, because I went to the website later.
Yeah.
So I guess if you have the book, you do them there with a piece of paper, but you go through them, and then it gives you a score on all these things. I heard stuff, and I know I had it. I can say that honestly, and it was kind of crazy to hear. And then I was like, oh yeah, that was definitely things that
It's an
that was an eye-opener. Like, I'm gonna use my notes because my brain fog, but I remember the biggest ones. It was like productivity, like to avoid. I felt like the more I did, it was kind of, it numbed me. Humor is armor. And then control, my favorite, because I thought that was me being like protecting, and it kept me safe. And I lived in that, which now you realize, right? Control, what is it?
Yeah.
It's fear.
Fear, control. Wait.
Control
Something
is
and
fear,
love.
and love allows.
Love allows.
Yes.
We nailed it.
Our brain fog is on fire today. But so when I went through all those chapters, I just was like, oh my gosh, every time, because I would do this in the car. So that the more I went into it, I realized there was periods of my life that I've had it, and I can say right now I probably still have some.
I think it's hard to completely
to remove
their
it,
habits,
but it's the habits, right? You have to stack, like, to get out of it. There is depression that you need medication and all that stuff, and that is very serious. But there is this one that we just function, and we're like 100%, and nobody could ever imagine it, because we don't ever sit still to talk and look at our feelings.
Yeah, you just kind of suppress and avoid.
Yeah, we live in that state, right?
Yeah.
Because who would want to talk about all these things? And she's very big on the V's of the validating and then voicing and what else? I can't think of the other words.
I haven't even finished the audiobook because, of course, that would be me and Gabby. I know probably finished it within 4 days.
I still have like one chapter left, which the second to last, I was like, oh my gosh, I do. That's
and I
me.
kept going back to re-listen because I'm like, I I felt like it was just crazy that this wasn't even a thing that was a diagnosis before.
It's not. Yeah, yeah.
So she has
Yes.
like basically with, obviously she's a therapist. This is something that she came up with. She started like really researching and figuring out that this was a thing that a lot of women have. We're coping, these coping mechanisms that we have, and we numb and we avoid and we distract. And as she was talking about that, I'm like, I definitely do all of that. And I think we all do it in different ways, right? Some people it's just working consistently, which I definitely feel like has been us. Like just work, whatever, whatever you're going to do, like go all in on that, or kids or Netflix. Like definitely for me, that's a thing. Like I will, because I don't want to think about real life maybe. And so it helps me, get through, or it helped me get through, because I don't need it no more. And being in the car, right, we're listening to the audiobook, and as she's going through the quiz, and I'm like counting on my fingers, and every time I was like, oh my God, like literally I would think that there's no way, like I'm gonna be kind of maybe in the middle scale or in the lower scale, and it was always high.
You always underestimate. Don't worry about that stuff, because I think all of people, nobody, it's very hard to like look and tell yourself, yeah, you could have these things, or you should, but when you actually, that's being, you already did a little bit of like micro honesty, which you talked about. It's like you are actually like, okay, maybe you rationalize in your head, you were like, yeah, there is some stuff that I definitely feel that I have felt or done, or
And I think part of it too is like I guess the thing that struck me the most was how you can be successful, you can be productive, like everything looks great on the outside.
Yes.
You're not really going to be able to tell that person has high functioning depression, right? It looks fine, but they're not fine. They're overwhelmed, exhausted, and it's almost this feeling, if you know it, where you're just like numb, like you're like, my life is good, but I just don't feel. I feel like something's off. You don't feel as happy.
Well, then anhedonia, like you said, where you just the lack of like literally joy or anything. Like if you enjoyed working out, you really don't just like you don't really like food. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. And even when you're with people, your loved ones or whatever, you're kind of almost same. You're like, not in a bubble, but you're just kind of. It could be. It's not important, or you're not present.
Yeah, and you're always thinking of the next thing that you have to like go do.
Yeah,
it's really it is really hard to be present.
It's funny because we had some friends over last night, and I talked to her, and I said something because her and I are in the kind of the same path. Her two oldest already gone. One graduated college, another one in college, and she's got a sophomore like I do, and then so she was talking about things that she's work, and we both were, and then I said, hey, what's funny? I just realized I need to add 5 more hobbies, because this man is gone to golf all the time, and what am I going to do with my time? And she goes, we're so addicted to doing. So like the thought of your kids, not that role. Yeah. You're already thinking, I need to add 5 more things, because you don't want to just sit and just enjoy not having anything to do.
Yeah, but and to that question, what do you do? Like if I'm at home, I'm either cleaning, right? You're in clean or cooking or watching TV or hanging out with the kids or hanging out with Sean. But if I'm not doing anything, like, what do? Do you just sit?
Yes, but that's what it is. It's like we like the permission to rest, which I will tell myself. And my husband said that to me this weekend, that I'm so much happier. I do a lot more. I'm not. I don't think I will ever. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll have like another experience. If I go do some plant medicine, maybe I will be able to release that need to be doing, that need to feel productive, that need that makes me feel like I'm doing. I'm just that's all I am. As a human, that's just doing. So I want to be able to just be, and not feel like what I need to add 5 more things to my plate.
I feel like I can be and do nothing, but I guess when I
But you still have it in the back of your head that
I'm like, I'm gonna either be reading a book, watching a show that I want, maybe journaling, sitting outside. Okay, so I guess sitting outside would count. But I just don't get like rest. What does like rest really mean though? Is it just sitting outside? I feel like I have, but I also feel like I haven't. Like resting, I'm thinking.
I think we have.
I take a bath. That's restful.
No, we're not. But that's that's a lot of work too. I don't know, but people love that
so
stuff.
What is rest?
I mean, I don't know.
Writing a book. What the fuck is rest?
Like, I know for me, the rest is like just if I just want to lay in my bed, if I want to go have my
But what do
coffee
you
and
do?
sit outside.
But you lay in your bed and what?
Well, listen,
Just
sometimes I'm not
lay?
getting the phone
Or
anymore.
are you
No,
scrolling? Are you?
I'm letting. I told myself that for Lent, I'm doing like things that I'm adding, good things for me. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say like phones off after like 7.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's early for me because I know that I don't sleep well because don't right now we know you get on social media or anything
Yeah.
news and my gosh, my anxiety the past 2 weeks it has been like I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Mm.
So resting is I don't know. We're gonna learn together, and we're gonna tell you because we thought we knew it. We know how to have fun. We know how to do the
Yes.
joy part,
We do know that.
but the rest part. And
I need a hammock
you
because
do
I
need
could
a
lay in a
hammock.
hammock and just be like,
But how long
and pretend
can
I'm
you?
in Puerto
Like,
Rico and be like, with
But you
a
still
little.
want music and you want to drink and
But
dance.
I think music would be rest. Like you're listening to music and you're laying in a
I
hammock.
don't know. Can
I
we
need a
do like
beach.
a what do we call it, Issa? Like ask people to send us what rest is.
Yeah. What are your suggestions? Your advice? No, not what.
Like a poll.
A
A
poll.
poll.
Send us some tips, please. Because listen to us. We're both here trying to do things and have these habits. And I really think it's very important, especially as we read this book. Because guys, the chapter that really did me in, that I was like, she talks about the body, which we talk about here a lot, and about how if you have constant headaches, how if you have unbearable where you can't turn your neck, TMJ, where you have a cracked molar. Have I told that story?
A cracked what?
Molar.
Oh,
When I went to my last cleaning, they're like, when did this break? And I was like, what are you talking about? And they're like, you have a cracked molar. And I was like, I don't. And they're like, you grind your teeth, like you're gonna wear down. Like I remember like walking out and I felt so ashamed because I was like, I did this to myself, like because I don't know how the fuck to rest and calm down. And I have like a cocktail of supplements I take to go to sleep every night to make my nervous system calm down. And I am a work in progress, so I will say that,
Yeah.
right? That's why we're asking these questions and we're talking about it because we are both going through like, incredibly happy and busy and just all those seasons in our lives. But it still shows you that, man, we're both like,
yeah. I think we're
gonna
evolving and reinventing.
we're gonna have time. You want me to do what?
Like I got to fill it with five with
Me.
five
I was
hobbies.
like, she looked
and
at me.
I want to do them perfectly. I can't,
Yes, and I
don't
can't
wanna
be a
no-
beginner.
yeah, I can't be a novice.
Oh my gosh! So yes, it's kind of scary, but it is a little bit of relief for me because I have found that there's a lot of lightness in me speaking about this, right, and being like honest with people and having these deeper conversations with just friends or like people that I made them laugh last night because I'm like, hey, what do you guys? Because one Colombian, one's from Nicaragua, and I said, hey, what do you eat for snacks from the little tiendita? And they're both like, what? I was like, what? Whenever you go back to your country, what kind of snacks do you have? Because I love when I travel. That's like
Yeah.
a thing. I love to go to like a corner convenience store because I want to see what kind of chips or snacks they have,
Yeah.
just to try them. And so it took them a while, and then they're like, oh, and then we figured out, and we're all laughing, and they're like asking me. I was like, oh, everything, and Mark's like the OXO, and she gets asked to get like the Valentina, and has all that stuff and concoctions,
My
and they're
kids.
everywhere. And I said, and we just talk about that and how it was happy, but it was a conversation that it was a topic that people don't expect. So
Yeah.
that brought me a little bit of getting out of my comfort and being a little more honest, and then I'm finding that let's be like truthful, and maybe that
Yeah.
brings in more of feelings
Absolutely.
that we're all a little bit more aligned who we need to be because we've never had to be. We're always staying at that shallow
Superficial.
yes
Like, yeah.
or about the kids, and it's always
Yeah.
like your first like your job, kids, the marriage, because everybody has
Yeah.
something
What's
to say
going
about
on out in the
yes
world.
yes and not a lot of
No,
people
no.
want to have that conversation with the world. We're all like it's on fire, but
Don't look. Close the blinds.
yes, but the learning to just have tying it to what we're talking about is that we're aware. I think both of us are aware,
Oh,
right? And we're
yeah.
more cognizant of like we don't really know how to do this a lot.
I feel like I still have periods currently. Like I feel like definitely before.
Yeah.
It was high functioning
Yes.
depression, which feels like weird to say.
Mm-hmm.
It almost makes me feel honestly bad because I would,
Which
and I don't
should.
know with you,
Yeah.
if you think of like, what would my family think? And not like think is like, oh, you're judging me, but like if I have high functioning depression, then does that mean that they're not making me happy? Like, especially, I guess, my kids
Because
and
we're
my
putting it
spouse.
out.
Yeah, that I'm saying, oh, if
Yeah.
I have high functioning depression, then that means you're not able to
Make me
fulfill.
happy.
But it's not even about that, right? Because
Yes.
nobody should be able
Yeah.
to, like, right, make you happy or not happy. That has to come from within.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this weird thing to, like, say it. That's like, I'm like, I should feel like I shouldn't say it. But even now, sometimes I feel like weeks, even in January, where I was like either struggling to kind of get going, and I'm like, is this high functioning depression? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, I want to rest, but I also want to be productive.
Because we don't know how to.
It's,
We don't know how
it's
to
a
stop.
very,
Like,
it's very strange.
I'm saying, like, there's got to be a way to meet in the middle, I think,
Yeah.
for us, right? And it's interesting for sure. That's true.
The part that got me, though,
Oh my gosh.
which we definitely, I really, actually in a little bit, I want Issa, our producer, to read off the masochist questions. Because I feel like I definitely was a masochist. Like, overloading yourself, putting your schedule so packed that it's almost impossible, right, to get all of that done. And then on top of that, being, if somebody calls you to help them with something, right, being like, oh yeah, I can take that on too. Like, oh, I'm already drowning over here.
Yes.
But yes, because you need it, or because I don't want to fail you, or whatever
Yeah.
the reason. I did not realize I was such a masochist,
had
and that we're
decades.
causing, it's like you feel crazy once you really like take a step back and you're like, oh shit, I'm doing this to myself.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, like and just like we're doing it to ourselves, we have the power to freaking stop. We have the power to be aware and say, okay, I have to, and it is work. You have to change your habits and either start saying no, stop people pleasing. That's a big one for us, you know, if you have high functioning depression, and realizing that voicing it, and I think with your friends, we talked about like
Yes,
friendship, right?
yes.
Voicing it with your friends, it is important. It makes you feel less crazy, and it maybe helps you come up with a plan of how to ask for help.
Yes, yeah, and I think our healing accelerates with each other, right? Because we can hold each other, hold the space. Your people, your women can hold you and be like, you know, and then you could also, you'd be surprised having that conversation. Somebody might have it and be like, oh wow, I do the same, and what do you think? What have you learned? Like, share with me, like that kind of stuff. So it's validating it and putting it out there and not feeling, because I think most women I know live in that space.
Yeah.
You know, because, and I don't know, it's our time in society or whatever. We were given the bullshit that we were going to do it all and be it all.
Yeah.
And we forgot that you really can't, because you don't know how to rest in the end.
It's something that's like perpetuated from when we're really young.
Yes.
And I feel like even with the kids, I'm
Yeah.
always like kind of careful, like, oh, great job, like you did really good, like good job, you achieved,
Yes.
right? Or man, you're such a hard worker. That's awesome.
Our words that we use for them.
And all that, I feel like for women, it's like all that does is reiterate, great, I need to work hard. That's good. Like, look at, I got kudos for achieving, for working hard, for getting good grades.
Yes. We got our gold
But then what's
stars.
the opposite? Like, how do you say, like, I guess, and now I say a lot, oh, you should be proud of yourself. Like, I'm proud of you, but I'm not
about
even
me.
focusing
Yes,
on that.
Yeah. Be
But-
proud of yourself.
But then
a
I
lot
do
of
want to achieve. So it's like, I want to just like do nothing.
You see, we're on the learning curve with everybody. Are we doing the questions here? Issa's doing
We
them
should do
for
the
us?
questions. We should. Should we do them on here? Yeah, we can.
She can. Which, look, we're doing something that is very taking courage of us, because we're going to sit here and we're going to go through this
Yes.
and whatever the feelings are about it, right? Because both of us want to kind of navigate it.
Well, and I think it's important that people hear about it.
Yes.
Because I feel like we would have never
No.
known. I would have
I mean,
never,
I saw
like, I think
her-
to identify with that and
Yes.
say, okay, great. Like, that's a normal thing that a lot of women and men do, right? Where we feel unsafe if we're not like achieving or being busy. And how do you kind of shift that? Because you can continue to go through life like this, but it's not going to be as
I
an
just thought of
enjoyable
something
life.
kind of funny, because it's like, what would you say? Oh, I'm proud of myself because I rested today.
Yeah.
And what are people going to say? Because I'm thinking
Yeah.
if I went to my family or whatever, are
be
they
like-
going to be proud that I rested today? Like, you know? Now, if I said I had like 5 meetings and I did this and all that, and then I went and had my dinner with the kids and all that, and it's kind of like I'm impressing them.
Yeah,
'cause
you're
I did
super mom and
Yes,
super
did
like,
so much.
professional.
Yes.
It's hard. It's hard. And I
Like,
feel
I
like,
do feel guilty. Like, even sometimes I want to meditate more, but then I'm like, how am I going to do like 20 minutes of meditating if I need to be doing my emails? It's dumb.
I'm gonna win this one.
You
Not
got
even
it.
about winning.
I'll give it to you.
Like it's not about winning.
Did you bring the stars, Isa?
Yes, it's my gold star.
I'm gonna make little cards.
I bend over backwards to help others even though they may not have asked me to. I can't help but self-sacrifice in order to show up for others. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. People are always coming to me for favors and asking me things because I rarely say no and or I rarely reject them. Yes or no?
No, yeah.
I often find myself in situations that are not in my best interest, and that often leads to disappointment, failure, or mistreatment.
No.
I frequently turn down opportunities for pleasure or enjoyment instead of working or engage in acts of duty.
No.
Wait, repeat that?
I frequently turn down opportunities for pleasure or enjoyment and instead work or engage in acts of duty.
No, not anymore. I used to though.
Mm-hmm.
When people offer to help me, I turn them down or tell them that I can't do it without their help.
Yes.
No.
I feel uncomfortable when people do kind things for me, compliment me, or treat me well.
I like it.
I have a hard time celebrating wins.
No.
No, I think no. I do.
Yeah, that was the last question.
Oh, that's it?
That's what he talks about, guys. If you heard, like, the people pleasing, what we do, what we recognize that we still do. So it leads to having signs of, high functioning depression, which can show up.
Yeah.
And it can lead, a little bit of that anhedonia, if you describe that, how it's that lack of
Lack of pleasure. Just
Yeah.
lack of, again, I think it's that numbness feeling, that numbness.
Got the results back.
Let's see. Drum roll.
Thank you for taking time to complete the people-pleasing quiz. You scored 4 out of 7, which may be considered severe.
Oh,
I thought I was winning.
So we were so proud of ourselves.
I was like, yes.
We're going to work on that part too. The rest and the people pleasing. Wow. We have a lot of homework.
God.
I'm
But-
safe.
Yeah, I'm safe. I'm good. No. And part of the things
Yes.
that she talks about is obviously being present. I think it's so many of the same themes that we hear.
Everybody,
right?
all of the development and all the, I feel like psychiatrists, psychologists, therapists, spirituality, what else? Like faith-based, everything all says to what are you going to say?
Yeah.
About
Meditate, be present. So take time to go inward,
Yeah.
meditate, be present. And then just taking time to find like little micro joys. That doesn't mean like, oh my God, this is like the happiest moment of my life. But it's just like, oh, this beautiful cup of coffee. I'm just gonna take a moment to enjoy
savor it.
Yeah, my cat.
Yes.
Oh, like
Yes,
how
yes,
nice
how
to just
the
pet. Yeah, like
effects. From my big habit that really changes how I feel. A lot of my mental is like the gratitude. Like a lot of that when I go to bed, before I get up. I mean, I'm in my head already. Like, I'm grateful. I'm doing my journal like the 3 minutes, and that's it. Just the 3 things, and I'm being super intentional about that. The present, it's so hard, and I want to say it's hard because of the ADHD as well. To just quiet my brain and to just be there, and then I feel bad because right now I'm in a season again of a lot of work, a lot of life, and I catch myself now that my kids are like, "You're not listening," and I feel so bad. I'm like, I promise I am. Tell me again. And I want to catch that. And I'm glad we're having this topic today, because then I realize, I let things go because I want to be, fulfilling these other roles. And in the end, it causes me, not to have fill up my own cup, right? Which is whatever my cup needs. So we're work in progress, guys.
yes,
So.
yes. And I feel like I'm way better than I was last year.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
way better
And
than
I
I
am
was a
very
couple
proud of
months
myself.
ago. So
Yeah.
I think it's just that continuous journey.
We're
And
gonna
then
continue.
it's fine. Like it's not linear, right? Your spirituality or your getting to wherever you're
Your
going.
mental health either. I mean, it's just what it is.
Yeah, it's gonna go all over
Yeah.
the place. Sometimes you're gonna have, like where you
Yeah.
kind of go back and you're like, I'm not feeling that again. And it's and every time I notice that, it's that I got away from the habits.
Yes.
It's
the
the
habits.
meditating,
We know what's good for us. Like me, I said that last week. Mine is movement. Mine is having time with my friends. Very important right now. I'm my sleep, like because hormones are going
Yeah.
all over the
Your
place.
gratitude
I've got
practice.
the gratitude, just and then learning to be present, which sounds so easy because even like breathing, like Paula does a lot more of breath work, but I've been extra going to work out like the past 4 weeks. But did a yoga class Saturday. We're breathing, and I was like, I came out, and I was like, oh, my shoulders feel better. Like just it was a slow class. I never would do a slow class.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna go kill myself and come out of there, and I made sure it hurts, and this did not.
Yeah.
And it was so good, but I was like, it was just a lot of breathing and like in your diaphragm and just what it does for your nervous system, right?
Yeah, which both of us
Yeah.
do not breathe. Thank God. I'm really grateful that breath work is becoming more of a thing.
Yes, yeah.
So-
So we'll talk about that soon too. We have a lot of exciting stuff.
Yes, yes.
Keeping up with the high functioning. We're on the there.
Give us tips and we'll give you tips.
Exactly. Show you what we do. Teach you about it.
Well,
Anyway,
thank you so much for being
Yes.
here with us.
so stay to Lulu and make
make
it
it
happen.
happen.
See you next time.